Hi, today on Katherine Learns Stuff, I'm going to walk you through making this happy 80th birthday shaker card using only free shapes and text from Design Space. So let's jump in. So what we're going to do today is we're going to design a happy 80th birthday shaker card made out of free shapes and text provided by Cricut Design Space. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to come over here to images and we are going to look for a card. Cricut has a bunch of free cards that are available, so we're going to do, we're going to go here to free on our left side and look for a free card. This is one of the ones that I often use. They sometimes have different colors of it, but this is the one that I typically use. It comes with a bunch of the features that we need, so we're just going to add it to our canvas. So we'll notice that this card has sort of everything. It's got the card insert, the card, and an envelope. We don't need all of those bits, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click this ungroup button and ungroup it. And we're going to select the envelope and delete that because we do not need the envelope. Because we are going to just put this into a regular envelope that we've got. And we're going to select both of these items now. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the width to 10 inches. This will give us a good size for our card, making this just over 7 inches, which is nice. I know I don't like this color scheme, so I need to change this before I can continue working because it's just not going to work for me. We'll change the card insert to white, and the card, we're just going to select the card itself on the side here. We're going to change this to blue because the person who's getting this card likes blue, and so that's the color that we're going to go with. Now I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so that I can have a better working space here, see what I'm doing. So my idea is it's going to say happy up here, there's going to be a big 80 in the middle, and birthday down below. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the number 80. So just by clicking text, I'm going to put in the number 80. And I'm going to move this here, and I'm going to stretch it. Now, I'm going to click my unlock button here because I want to sort of change, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to change the dimensions of this so that it kind of takes up the whole card space mostly. I don't like where this is situated. I need to move this down so I can see better. So I've got a nice 80 here. Maybe I'm going to make it a bit fatter, like so. I think that's good. So that's my 80. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select this and I'm going to duplicate this because I always like to have a spare one just in case I mess something up. So I'll move that to the side. Now, this 80 will be my front 80, so I'm going to change this to a light blue, and I'm going to duplicate it again because I need to make some modifications to this. Since this is a shaker card, my idea is that this sort of round bit on the 8, these two holes, and the hole on the O are going to be where my shaker bits go. So what I need to do is I need to make a little bit of a modification. So right now you'll notice here that my contour button is grayed out, so I can't actually select this. So what I need to do is with my 80, I need to ungroup it. So now it's 2 items by themselves. And now, if I select the 2 items and combine them and weld them, they're kind of one item. And now you'll notice this contour button is highlighted again, so I can actually use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just remove the center pieces of my 80 so that it's just one color. Now this is going to be my acetate piece of paper that I use, so I'm going to make that a light gray so that I know that that's what that's going to be cut out as. And I'm going to duplicate that one more time because I need to have a backing for my shaker, and I'm going to make that white. So that's kind of going to go back here. Let's bring this back so that we can see what it looks like. How is it going to send back? There we go. So that's kind of the idea for the card. And this 80 that we've got here in the light gray is going to be the acetate, so I need to hold on to this. The next thing that I want to do is I want to write in a text, and the text is going to say happy, and then I'm also going to make another text that says birthday. I'd like to have this in 2 separate pieces because I'm kind of going to move them around my sheet, so sort of in this area. but I don't like this font, so I'm going to come over here and change my font to, I'm going to select my filter and select a free font because I'm all about free. And we're going to click out of this. I'm going to look for a font that's kind of a cursive font. Let's see what we've got here. I think I like this one. So I'm going to click that there. And that should work. And if I can select this birthday, I'm going to do the same thing for the birthday because I want the font to be the same. And where did it go? This one here. So this is the favorite font collection single layer. Okay, so those two have been changed. Now you're going to notice on this happy that the letters are spaced far apart. And since this is going to be cut out in paper, I like to move them all together. So what I can do is with my line spacing, I can pull them sort of closer together. But, oops, together. But we'll start to notice here, like, let me just zoom in so we can all see this a little bit better. The H and the A are nicely together. This P is almost right there, but this P and this P have a large gap. And if I keep pulling this closer by reducing the gap, if I get to the point where these two P's are at a good spot, the A and the P are too close and the H and the P are too close. So what I like to do is I like to hit my ungroup button, and I'm going to actually manually move these pieces apart. I should actually be able to distribute horizontally. So that kind of pulls them apart a little bit for me. And I'm just going to move it so that we can see that there's no overlap here. These two need to be pulled a little bit farther from that P. Now these three need to be pulled a little bit closer. And just a little bit farther from the H. So I'm happy with the spacing on that. So I'm going to select all 5 letters there. And I'm going to combine and weld them. And I'm going to repeat this process for the birthday, but I'm just going to simply skip right to the ungroup and move my letters around so that everything kind of sits nicely together the way that I want to. Now, the problem with this font is that the B is a different, there's no little twirly off the B here, so the B is going to be a sort of standalone item when I cut it out, and so will the I is going to, the dot and I is going to be a little standalone item, but that's not going to stop me from selecting them all, combining them, and then welding them. So now I've got sort of 2 phrases, so I can move this around. Now I want to put this is going to go here. I'm going to unlock my dimensions again just so that I can sort of stretch this out. It's kind of going to sit in this spot here. And this one is going to sit here, like so. Why is this locked? I thought I just unlocked this. It's kind of like so. Alright, so those are done. The last thing I need to do with this happy and the birthday is I need to add in an offset. So I'm going to do an offset of 0.1 because I don't want it to be too large. 0.1. Apply. Okay. And I need to change the color of this offset to white. Now I'm going to come over here. Where's my this and this? I want to just move them down a little bit. I think it's kind of too big for what I'm looking for, so I just readjust the size here like this. Okay. And I'm going to duplicate this offset because I will need one behind everything so I can line it up on my design. So I'm just going to duplicate. And that's in white, so that's good. Alright, so we're going to repeat the process here with this birthday. We're going to offset it. We're going to offset it at 0.1. We're going to apply it, and we're going to change the color to white. Now again, this birthday and this nope, where's this offset? Alright, these 2 items, I need to readjust them. I'm going to unlock them. I don't want anything coming off of the card, but I kind of want it to sit entirely on the card. Okay. And then I'm going to select this offset again, and I'm going to duplicate it because I will need an extra one. Alright, we're getting there. Now, it's going to say happy 80th here, so we need a TH. So again, we're going to select our text, and we're just going to write TH. Now this is the right font because I want this font, but I have to make some modifications. So first, change the color so that it matches my color scheme. That is going to be there. And I want to move these guys together. Hopefully if I, that's not my spacing. I want letter spacing. I want these guys to be closer together, like so. And I need to make sure that I hit the combine button and weld this together so it doesn't cut it out as two pieces. So I got that. That's going to go kind of here. I'm going to make it just a smidge smaller, and I'm going to rotate this just a little bit. It's kind of going to go like that on my card. So say happy 80th birthday. So that we have done, and so the last thing that we need to do is we need to add a sentiment onto our design space. But before we do that, I need to get that off of a different program. I'm going to save this so that I don't make any mistakes and delete this whole thing. In the process, 80th birthday shaker card. Save. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so I have my sentiment that I wrote up. I've copied it into my clipboard here, and I'm going to add a text here. I'm just going to paste this in. So it's select the font that I used last time, but this font is not going to work because I'm actually going to use my Cricut pens to write this out, so I need to change my font. I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to select my filter and go to writing and free, and we're going to see what we've got here with Cricut Design Space. I want just a simple one. Let's do this. Okay, I'll leave this for now. And I really need to change this dimension because it's way too big. It's got to fit on this little card here. Okay, we're almost there, but if I'm going to zoom in here just so that I can see what I'm looking at. This font is no good because you can't actually see what it's saying even when zoomed in close. So I'm going to change the font to maybe this one. That didn't work. What's happening here? That is not the font that I selected. How about this one? Okay, that's a bit better. And we're going to zoom you in. Okay, where's all these? Get rid of some of this negative space here, but that's still too big. And that font is not, it's not doing it for me. So, what's going on with that font there? Where's the one that I normally pick? What's wrong with this? Writing and free. Let's try this again. Cricut. Let's start from the top here, Cricut. Something's not cooperating. No, you can't read that. Some of those 80 years old won't be able to read that. That's too small. That's too congested. Okay, let's try this for now. Just going to stretch it a little bit more. Oh, good. Something messed up. Alright, there we go. So let's do that one. And so what I need to do is I've got my, these two pieces. Where is my This is my card, right? And where's my text? That's this text here. I'm going to select these two items and I'm going to attach them together. This way it'll force it to print the words on this card. Okay, so that's it. The card is done. The one thing that I can do before I send this to cut is this duplicate 80 here. I don't use it anymore because I didn't mess anything up, so I can just delete this. So now I've got happy birthday. I've got 2 outlines of each of the words because I'll need one against the bottom of the paper. I've got an 80, I've got a background 80 for my shaker, I've got my acetate paper, and I've got a TH. The TH doesn't need an outline for underneath. I've got my sentiment on my card, and that's it. So we're ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit make it, and I'm going to arrange everything on my pages to cut this out. And once it's all cut out, we'll continue from there. Perfect. And there you have it. Your happy 80th birthday shaker card design is complete with all 3 pieces from our Cricut Design Space. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make this. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And the next video that you can watch is how we assemble this card. It's not very complicated, but sometimes we need a little bit of help. So I've got that here that you can click onto if you like so that you can watch that video as well. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.